Improving your credit score can feel overwhelming, confusing, and at times even impossible, especially if you've made mistakes in the past or simply never learned how the system works. I know that feeling personally. There was a time when my credit score was so low that I avoided checking it altogether. Every application I submitted was either rejected or approved with extremely high interest rates. It felt like I was stuck in a cycle I couldn't escape. But everything changed when I decided to take control, educate myself, and apply a clear, structured plan. Within a relatively short period, I raised my credit score by 200 points, and it completely transformed my financial life. Today, we will talk about I raised my credit score 200 points fast. Here's exactly how so. Before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. The journey started with a simple but powerful step: awareness. I stopped avoiding my credit situation and faced it head-on. I requested my full credit report and studied it carefully. At first, it looked complicated, but once I broke it down, I realized it was simply a detailed record of my financial behavior. Every late payment, every balance, every account, it was all there. This gave me clarity, and clarity gave me direction. As I reviewed my report, I discovered something surprising and inaccuracies. There were accounts I didn't recognize, late payments that were incorrectly reported, and outdated negative items that should have already been removed. This was a turning point. I filed disputes for each error, providing proper documentation where necessary. Over the following weeks, some of these negative marks were removed, and I saw my score increase without even changing my habits yet. This taught me that sometimes, your score isn't just about what you've done, it's also about what's being reported correctly. Once I cleaned up the errors, I turned my attention to the most important factor: payment history. This is the backbone of your credit score. I realized that even one missed payment can stay on your report for years and significantly impact your score. So I created a system to ensure I would never miss a payment again. I set up automatic payments for all my accounts, at least the minimum due. I also set reminders a few days before each due date so I could pay more than the minimum whenever possible. Over time, these consistent on-time payments began to rebuild my credibility with lenders. Next came one of the fastest ways to boost a credit score: reducing credit utilization. This is the percentage of your available credit that you're currently using. Before I understood this, I was using a large portion of my credit limits, thinking it was normal. In reality, high utilization signals risk to lenders. I made a plan to aggressively pay down my balances. I prioritized high-interest cards first while still making minimum payments on others. As my balances dropped, my utilization ratio improved, and within just a few weeks, I noticed a significant jump in my score. To accelerate this even further, I used a strategic move: requesting credit limit increases. I contacted my credit card providers and asked for higher limits. In many cases, they approved the increase without even checking my credit again. This instantly lowered my utilization ratio without requiring me to pay off more debt. However, I stayed disciplined. I didn't increase my spending just because I had more available credit. Another key step was becoming extremely cautious about new credit inquiries. Every time you apply for a credit card, loan, or financing, a hard inquiry is recorded on your report. Too many inquiries in a short period can lower your score and make you appear desperate for credit. I stopped applying for unnecessary credit and focused only on what I truly needed. This helped stabilize my score and prevent unnecessary drops. I also learned the importance of credit age and account history. Initially, I considered closing some old accounts that I no longer used, thinking it would simplify my finances. But I quickly realized that older accounts actually help your score by increasing your average credit age. So instead of closing them, I kept them open and occasionally used them for small purchases to keep them active. Another powerful but often overlooked strategy was diversifying my credit mix. Lenders prefer to see that you can responsibly handle different types of credit. This includes revolving credit, like credit cards, and installment loans, like personal loans or auto loans. I didn't rush into this, but I gradually built a balanced profile. Even a small, manageable installment loan added depth to my credit profile and contributed positively over time. Budgeting also played a crucial role in my journey. I created a simple but effective budget that allowed me to track my income, expenses, and debt payments. This helped me allocate more money toward paying down balances while still covering my daily needs. Without a budget, it's easy to fall back into old habits, but with one, every dollar had a purpose. One habit that made a huge difference was making multiple payments throughout the month. Instead of waiting until the due date, I started paying off portions of my balance weekly. This kept my reported balances low and further improved my utilization ratio. It also helped me stay mentally engaged with my finances rather than ignoring them until the last minute. I also became more mindful of interest rates and fees. High interest can keep you trapped in debt even if you're making regular payments. Whenever possible, I negotiated lower interest rates with my lenders or transferred balances to lower interest options. This allowed more of my payments to go toward the principal rather than just interest. Patience and consistency became my greatest allies. While some changes produced quick results, others required time. There were moments when my score didn't move much, and it felt frustrating, but I stayed committed. Credit improvement isn't always a straight line. It's a gradual upward trend built on consistent positive behavior. Another mindset shift that helped me was understanding that credit is not free money. It's a financial tool. When used responsibly, it can open doors to opportunities, better loans, lower interest rates, and greater financial flexibility. But when misused, it can quickly become a burden. Changing how I viewed credit changed how I used it. I also educated myself continuously. I read articles, watched videos, and learned from financial experts. The more I understood, the more confident I became in making smart decisions. Knowledge truly is power when it comes to managing your credit. Over time, all these efforts began to compound. Small improvements added up, and before I knew it, my credit score had increased dramatically. That 200-point jump didn't happen overnight, but it happened faster than I ever thought possible once I started doing the right things consistently. To add even more depth to this journey, I also began tracking my progress regularly. Every month, I would check my score and review what had changed. This wasn't just about numbers, it became a motivational tool. Seeing even a small increase encouraged me to stay consistent. On the flip side, if there was a drop, I would immediately investigate the cause and correct it. This habit of regular monitoring kept me in control rather than leaving my financial health on autopilot. Another advanced tactic I used was timing my payments strategically. I learned that credit card companies report balances to credit bureaus at specific times during the billing cycle, not necessarily on the due date. So I made sure to pay down my balances before the reporting date. This ensured that the reported balance was low, even if I had used the card during the month. This small adjustment made a noticeable difference in how my credit utilization was reflected. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up, leave a comment, and click the button to subscribe.